We're back. How you like my Middletown hat here?
I think it's great. It's phenomenal. How
Thank
you like
you.
my Nike one from literally got it at the beginning of the season to the end of the season. It's already sun gone. It ain't popping like it used to, folks. It ain't popping like it used to.
That's it. That's it. Another great day. We're gonna have on in a few seconds. Defensive line coach at Montclair State. Listen, those of you who watch our podcast every week, we've been very heavy Montclair State.
Sorry, guys. It is what
But
it is.
we as the season ends, we'll get a little more variety. We would have other guys on, but
Tough in the season.
a lot of guys are busy and in season, so it's great to have Coach Marshman on. We'll talk to him. I know Coach going back quite a bit to my days at Powell Park, and I I've seen him climb the ranks literally. From going coaching at DePaul. I believe his son played maybe at DePaul too. I think I could be wrong. And then and now at Montclair State and coaching there. We'll talk more to him about that and go from there. So it'll be a good podcast. We'll talk some D-line. We'll talk some college football. Without further ado, let's bring on Coach Marshman.
Coach.
Good morning.
What's up, man?
All right.
You're still as huge as I remember you from back when I first met you, Coach.
Yeah. It's been a roller coaster with the weight, up a little, down. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Purposely or
a little bit of both, Sometimes I'm eating good. Sometimes I'm.
Well,
right now, football season. I'm just trying to balance everything,
No doubt about it. Like I said earlier on the podcast, I met you when I was at Powell Park originally, right? Your son was playing youth football, I think. And you were helping out there, and we talked, and you came up, and helped a little bit out with us, and then I moved on, you went to DePaul. Your son played at DePaul. Am I right about that? Did your son play at DePaul?
Yeah, he was on the roster for 4 years. He was there.
Okay.
And it was a great experience for him. He made a lot of great friends. And it pretty much gave him the high school experience on a large scale.
Program like that.
Yeah, they got launched into the old Big North Conference, which at the time, 2013, was one of the top 5 conferences in the country.
I think you could probably stay with that and keep it going. I mean, they don't call it that anymore, but I mean, those guys are still all linked up together. So, I mean, look, you've coached at multiple spots, right? Like you were at DePaul, then you were at Paramus Catholic for a while.
Yeah, I was at PC for a while. I coached 10 years in public high school prior to going to DePaul and coaching youth football in Powell Park.
So you've run the gamut, brother.
Yeah. I've been Dumont, Passaic High School, Union High School, Powell Park rec program, and that just happened when my son went to play, and they needed volunteers. They were so shorthanded.
Right.
It was just one young guy trying to do everything, and he had one of the former high school assistants helping him out. But it was hard. They didn't have a lot of numbers and not a lot of help, so I tried to help out anytime I can. And once I got that itch back, I was like, oh, I got to get back to coaching,
Yeah, man. Hey, it doesn't leave you. I mean, listen, Dave himself, right? I mean, listen, he coaching his son's 8U team, man. I mean, it doesn't leave you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had kids. They were 12 years old, and I'm firing them up like, let's go to war, baby. Like,
yeah.
They're all like,
and they're like, sir, I'm the size of your arm.
Yeah. But they're ready to go to battle. It was a special group of kids, and now they're all grown up. I'm seeing all these kids that I remember as preteens, and now they're all in their late 20s. Some of them married, a lot of them college graduates, many of them. And I still guys here and there.
Crazy.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'd say the best part about coaching is not only the memories on the field and the games and practices, camps, but seeing the kids graduate, get their degree, and seeing them later as adults.
Right. Be successful.
Yeah. I always say, I always want my players to wind up better than me.
Yeah.
I said, hey, if we're football coaches, so we've already signed up for a life of hard work and minimal compensation.
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's it, bro. We sure as hell don't do it for the money. I mean, damn. Even an assistant in college, and I mean, look, we don't want to dive into it ever, but like, what you make in comparison to what some of these high school guys in possibly other states make, I mean, it ain't anything that you're going to live on. That's for sure.
The payment and the reward is much more than monetary.
Yep.
Fulfilling. And, I'm the guy that I find myself each season, that first Monday after the season, whether it's November or December,
or for this guy, October.
Yeah, I'm sitting around looking like, man, what do I do with my life now? Let's work on the next season. And I like to start planning right away. Get ready for the next one.
What's it been like transitioning from going to high school to coaching, Montclair State and college? What's kind of some of the things that you've dealt with? Things you had to do from a D-line coach type of thing like that.
As far as differences, I would say just the time and commitment on the college level. The kids from January on, from the first week of school in January all the way through finals, they're working out with us, voluntary, of course. But the attendance was pretty much near perfect at 6 a.m. On weekdays. Working out, study hall also.
Yep.
Just seeing the culture. I'm fortunate enough to have been brought in by Coach Pilatz at Montclair, and he's established a culture that just everything is done the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that through my coaching career, we've coached with a lot of different guys, a lot of places, different personalities, and I get along with mostly 95% of everybody, I come across. But sometimes, in all aspects, you're going to get differences of opinion, or
it's part of it.
Some people are more thorough, some people cut corners, whatnot. But those are products that you see on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Cut corners off the field, it's going to show on game day. Thing I noticed with the first day I walked in to spring workouts at 6 a.m. This was in early March when I got hired,
Mm-hmm.
and every single kid is dressed up in matching attire, Montclair State gear. They're all standing in perfectly straight lines. Not a single toenail was over the line when they're all standing. And when we do our walkthroughs, even in camp, they had the matching same. Everyone had the t-shirt, same shorts, matching.
Optics, man, it matters. You know what I mean? That little bit of discipline that that takes it a far way. And definitely, I'm sure you can see the difference from high school programs that are run tight like that. Now your transition. I mean, the time, the commitment. I mean, it's a lot of different types of, I mean, look, you're talking, and Dave, you can speak to it. I mean, from a Division I level to a Division III level, like Division I level, these are mandatory workouts at 6 a.m., right? You're talking Division III now. Look, when I was there, I can remember, hey, I can't get there, coach, because I have work or I have something else. You know what I mean? There's D3 is different when it comes to that, because it just, you're kind of just playing for the love of the game.
Yeah, I got kids on my team that are, working third shift at FedEx or UPS. Kids that are delivering pizza until midnight, and then going to class at 8 a.m. and then and coming to practice, and then going straight to work. And I give these kids a lot of credit, and even though our voluntary workouts are, they're voluntary, but
you're there.
Yeah,
you want to be the starter, you're there.
Yeah, if you're not working, someone else is out working you.
They're gonna come take your spot, man. That's kind of what it is.
That is the big difference. Yeah, you do have, like, basically, because you have scholarships you can hold over people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, do you want this money to go to school or not?
Yeah.
Free. What do you hold?
You have to show. You have to show up. And the guys who don't show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you have a double.
Feel like it's not gonna be much long. You don't show up once, you get punished. You got whatever punishment. You don't show up twice, there's probably a bus ticket for you on the way home. So
we have a structure. It's if a guy is not fully bought in, it just weeds themselves out.
Yep.
Whether
Absolutely.
Whether it's formal or informal.
And the one thing I think that's, and you can speak on it if I'm right or wrong, is in high school, a coach has to do that, right? A coach kind of weeds the guys out as they go. In college, now your team, your players start to weed guys out because, like, look, bro, if you're not going to work as hard as us, if you're not going to do this, if you're not going to compete, don't be a part of this, And you can kind of see how the team almost a good team, I would say, self-polices, right? And I think that comes from the top. And Palaz has done that from every way, shape, and form, dude. From the time he walked in as a student assistant to the time where he was the receivers coach, recruiting coordinator, and now that he's been the head coach, I just think he does his program. He's taken what he learned from a legend and put his own spin on it and updated it. And now it's just shit, man. Black uniforms, Coach G would have killed us.
Oh, the blackout uniforms are sick, man.
They're cool. They are cool.
Yeah, I one thing is different now than it was even 10 years ago. Is all the swag, all the uniforms, the photo shoots and photo day and media day and even this season I was soaking it up because I'm like, you know what? I didn't have it as a player. I think we were lucky to get like a Fruit of the Loom cotton T-shirt when I was
Gildan.
Yeah, Gildan T-shirts, and if the budget was large enough, maybe a pair of mesh shorts.
And you went to I'm not trying to back you. You played at Willie P, correct?
Yeah, I played at Willie P, and
under what head coach?
Jack Peavy was my first head coach. And then Larry Arrico took over. After that for my senior year. But I still speak to Coach Peavy even to this day. I'm still in touch with him.
Yeah, it's something, dude. Like I posted something today too about like the relationship that players have with coaches and just like the off the field type of continuing, like even when you're done playing type of thing. I mean, I tell my guys all the time, I'm with you more than I'm with my family for that time. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna work hard, I mean, we're gonna have bonds that are just totally different. Like now that this is like you said, that final Monday when you're handing in all your gear and stuff. I mean, look, we just went through it. I mean, it's the hardest day of the year, no matter what, right? You're saying goodbye to seniors. You're looking at a different transition. Some guys are happy. Some guys are sad, right? Some guys walk out of there. They do a round off back handspring because they're so excited season's over. And then you have guys that are like, Coach, can you open the weight room?
Absolutely. Yeah. And those guys like that you just mentioned, those are the guys that usually see the most success. Or one particular season at DePaul, we had just come off a three-peat state championship, won 3 in a row. We had a monster class that graduated with Kareem Walker, Assis Dubois, etc.
Cool, yeah, that was the D1 group.
Yeah, we had 12 full scholarship players graduate in one senior class. And that following year, we were young, had a lot of juniors. But they were a great class, the class of 2018. But a lot of them were first-time starters. And, we went through a season that was, we finished 7-5 that season, but we lost in the finals in MetLife. And that one loss to St. Joe's at the end, and knowing that we weren't going to bring a title, that everyone just looked at each other. Nothing needed to be said. And we all just knew, like, the next season, the 2017 season, starts now.
Right.
Yeah. Before we even got off the bus, we were determined. They said, you know, usually we didn't start formal team workouts until January. That very next Monday, because the game was over the weekend in MetLife, the entire team was in the weight room voluntarily on their own. The captains took charge and said, "We're doing this. We're not taking L next year." Wound up winning 7-3 against St. Joe's at Keene that following year, and that was that was an emotional moment. And it was great to see those kids, you know, come out and vindicate themselves with a big win there and get over that hump, because that was the first time they had beaten St. Joe's in over 25, 30 years at that time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, DePaul changed everything. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember my first year at my year at Bosco was 2012. I mean, we played DePaul. I think we beat them like 50-7. You know, and it was like, damn, what's going on over there? I mean, listen, I used to play DePaul when I was at Butler, right? And like, we just used to, you know what I mean? Like, that was so. When Coach McKenna kind of took a step back, took a look at it and said, we might want to do something, you know what I mean? And he's, you know, he's got the guys, I mean, look, Murray and all those guys, they help out so much, you know, with everything going on. I mean, he literally flipped that program. I mean, Dave, we can remember, right? Coach McKenna would work our showcases and he just had the right, you know what I mean? He did it the right way. He knew what he needed and what he wanted. And, you know, that's where the program's at now. It's, you know, every year you got to worry about them. I would like to see them, you know, listen, they're in that parochial B, which is a little different, you know, so we'll see how it goes, but good program. I mean, it was a great place for you to kind of get your jump, right? And kind of learn and go from there. And I mean, look, what is give us all like your exact role, right? I know you're the D-line guy. What do you do on game day? Do you have a headset?
No, I don't have a headset.
Good. You don't want a headset.
No. And really, as a D-line coach, all I'm doing is having my guys read the blocks, read the fits. I even tell my D linemen, like, you could play this position legally blind. Because that's land your hands, and your hands will take you where you have to be before your eyes can register that message. Like if you're, you get some D linemen, they stand up, they're looking around, they're trying to peek over the shoulder, and by the time, or they're guessing, they're going left or right, they're going to flip a coin. And you know, it's very inconsistent, and it doesn't lead to good, effective D-line play. I always tell my guys, land your hands first, strike hard, take that first 2 steps. Now, as you're taking those first 2 steps and you're landing, that block will take you right to where the ball is going to go. So you fight the pressure with pressure, or you squeeze it down, or you pin your ears back and go right into a pass rush, depending on what you feel. So really, I don't. All the scheme and stuff like that, I'm not as involved with. I'm watching more physical matchups, body language, offensive lineman stances, tendencies. There's some teams that they'll use tackle over, end over. Some teams
you make that call.
Yeah, some teams invert their line. They'll have a strong side offensive guard and tackle, and they'll flip them back and forth. And each week to week, my game plan is usually based on a physical matchup, or if I see an offensive lineman that looks like we can expose a mismatch.
Attaboy.
Do you guys do a lot of so how many man front do you guys play with?
We have a 3-man and a 4-man package.
And do you how many guys do you use in your rotation on the defensive line?
That's a great question, Dave.
Anywhere between 6 to 8 players.
Okay.
Fresh bodies.
And are you rotating them based off of like situation or set? Like, so like third down, do you bringing in different guys, you know, type of thing?
Third down, you're coming pass rushers.
Yeah, I have a group of pass rushers. I have a group of run stoppers. Then I'll have my main base guys for first down situations.
Right.
Awesome.
I have
and listen, traditionally, I'll tell you right now, you know, I played with Cornell Hunt, who had 100 tackles every single year. And listen, The only time I ever heard Cornell lose his mind was when he was getting blocked, which was rare because we had, I mean, we were probably 8-10 deep on the defensive line and continuous rotation, right? Like there was never a play where there wasn't somebody coming in or out based off of, hey, it's heavy first down, heavy run. Like, let's bring in the big dogs, right? Now it's third down. Okay, we're 10 personnel. All right, maybe here we go. Let's bring in some of the speed rusher guys, to get after it and kind of go. So, I mean, it's amazing to see that it's, not much has changed.
Do you control that rotation of them, or do you is it like so from a game planning standpoint, or is that communicated to you, or does the DC control like who's going in? Like how do you set the structure of your D line of who rotates in and how they rotate in?
Well, the head coach at DC have final say in everything, but they give me a lot of flexibility. They give me a lot of freedom because what we do is I'll start off with my base front.
Right.
We just start off every game with it, but we also game plan. So like when we play a team such as Salisbury, they were a triple option team.
Goals.
Much different approach.
Of course.
Shuffle some pieces around. So it wasn't a great game for pass rush guys. But then the following week we played William Patterson, which was all spread and
Willie P trying to chuck it around, coach.
Yeah. That wasn't a good week for our run stopping guys. So it changes. Right. And as we're in the game, he gives me control of the rotation.
That's awesome.
I feel it out. Usually, first indicator is physical. If a guy's showing fatigue and let's say we're 8 plays into a drive, might need give him a breather. Usually when I look is to make a switch, depending on down and distance, also field position as well. If we're 6 plays into a drive and we're between the 40s, now I'm going to start thinking, okay, let me get some fresh legs, because if they get in the red zone, I don't want to be defending inside the 30, and now I'm 10 plays deep with the same personnel. Usually I start off my base guys. I'll feel it out from there. It changes. A lot of times, even I go in with a game plan, and then next thing,
that takes God.
It's one thing happens, or you might have a quick change.
Somebody's getting hurt.
Yeah, an injury, a turnover, a change in score. Maybe your lead gets extended, or lead gets shortened, or you were in a lead, now you're behind, or there's a lot of different factors. So, and the rotation and feeling it out, it's sometimes you miscalculate. There's been time it was 3rd and 9. I'm like, okay, going pass rushers, and then they hit a. They gash us with a draw play, and I'm like,
and they run draw every time.
Gotta get that, But
it's part of it, though.
That's the name of the game, yeah.
Yes.
Have level, So what we're playing a guessing game. We're playing chess with human pieces.
Absolutely, no, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Do you have a recruiting area that you recruit for Montclair? Do they give? Are you assigned like a recruiting area, or are you just?
Well, our full-time staff handles mostly.
Okay.
What do you have? 3 full-time guys?
Yeah, we have 3 full-time. Our head coach and both coordinators.
That's huge. That's big.
Yeah, but all of the assistants, all the staff, we're there year-round, every day. Because
do they still divide it up? They used to do like the 3 guys are the main guys, right? Like obviously, but they used to give each coach kind of like a county or a couple counties to kind of like, hey, make sure you're at least like looking over this or seeing what guys, give me some names, get some some things like that. I mean, look, I know listen, if you walk around, you ain't hard to miss, bro. So if you got that Montclair State shirt on, I guarantee you, no matter where you are, people are asking questions.
Oh yeah. I always, I'm always trying to recruit wherever I go. Sometimes I'm working my part-time night job, and I might see a good-looking athlete with his parents, and I'm just gonna walk up to them like, hey, where you guys from? Or if I see a kid wearing a T-shirt somewhere, I'm like, oh, you play there? Okay. Oh, let me see your huddle link. I'll check it out.
Right.
I'll talk. And just kind of there, just connect with them. It's all about building relationships. If a kid's not going to want to go to school somewhere where he doesn't feel comfortable, or if he doesn't like the staff, or if you're not personable. So that's a big part of coaching college football. Is you gotta have a connection with the kids, because they're there voluntarily, especially D3.
Oh yeah, man.
They're not forced to be there. A lot of them, they choose to play because they love playing. They're still paying full tuition, a lot of them, and they're living
crazy
the student athlete life.
What kind of guys do you look for, like on a D line? Like what type of prospect? Like are there size wise? There's a lot of things about with D3, like guys don't really understand. Because they understand. Well, maybe they don't, but they understand for the most part. Like D1 guys, height, size, speed, relative to what their size is. Those kind of things are really important. What type of guy, what kind of physical characteristics are you looking for on the defensive line, and what kind of film, like things that you're looking to stand out, are you looking for on the defensive line?
Well, physically, it could be a broad range. As far as size, it's not quite like the D1 requirements, but they certainly do help.
Yes.
If I get a 6'4", 300-pound recruit, I'm certainly going to take a good look at them. But I'm not exactly going to shun away a smaller, let's say a 6 foot, 230-pound kid, because it's the upside can be tremendous with a kid like that, especially I find kids that are 17, graduating high school, 18.
Yeah, they still got a little bit. They might,
So, yeah, you're still entering your physical peak there, so they're going to grow a lot. They're going to mature a lot. On film, I look for how sudden they can move. Do they have that fast twitch? Do they have that motor? Do they have that mean streak?
That's a good one.
And a lot of times on film, I just don't want to see highlight tapes. Like I'd want to see a full game, because
nice.
I want to see what you're doing when the ball's going backside away from you. I want to see what you're doing, when it's a long drive and you're 12 plays deep. And most high school film, majority of those kids are playing both ways. So I'm going to look at what you're doing as an offensive lineman too, because some of those tools can translate on the other side of the ball as well. And also, there's some kids that I've seen over the years that, let's say they're primarily a defensive player, and they're also playing offense. You'll see them slack on one side of the ball because they're trying to preserve themselves. So if I see any of that, I do address it. I'll ask it, hey, what's going on in this play? Because I want to see what his answer is too.
Right.
You might get a kid that frees up, says, I thought, I don't know. And I would rather a kid just say, Coach, I was gassed. It's fourth quarter.
Give me the honesty.
Yeah, we're 100 snaps into the game. I'm not coming off the field. I say, all right, you know what? I could respect the honesty. We'll work with that. In college, since I'm playing with so many D linemen, and everybody on the roster was the best player in their high school, and that's what that's the hardest transition for freshmen, I would say, because you're the king of the castle when you're in high school. Now, when you get to college, you're just this small fish in a big ocean now.
That's it, man. You're just a dude with a bunch of dudes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like high school, it's you with a bunch of guys, and you're the dude. Now all of a sudden, everybody was a dude.
Yeah.
And some kids can't handle that, man. And for you, it's not. It might not be your first 8 that you have to talk to about it. It's the other 5 that are new, and they're like, I don't get this. Like, what do you mean? Like, why can't I do this or whatever? And then when your culture is what it looks like it is, those older guys, look, buddy, this is the process, dude. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that, stay within, stay contained. You know what I mean? It'll all work out. Trust the process. But that's where D3 is tough, because you don't have anything to hold those guys with the program, right? If they're not loving it, they just later, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I just won't come back, because there's nothing doesn't matter for me, right? So
exactly,
it's difficult.
And I'm fortunate enough this year that I have a great veteran group of seniors.
It's huge.
Yeah, that they helped me a lot along the way too, because they're taking a mentorship role over the younger players,
Right, which allows you to focus your time in other places and where it needs to be.
Yeah, and then what I started doing was early on in camp when we were doing drills and skill development. And I would have guys pair up against each other. I'd always put a veteran guy with a freshman, because I've been on teams in the past where I see, all right, varsity guys over here, young guys over here, and then freshmen all the way down on the other side of the field.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So I want to get the freshmen to work drills with the varsity guys so they can feel it, get hands-on experience, and they're coming a long way too. A lot of freshmen, I could see the difference night and day from August to now. So by the end of this 2 weeks, those kids will be fully developed and ready to roll for the spring.
Awesome.
Spring, we're going to do it with skill development.
Awesome stuff. Well, Coach, it's been great having you on. What do you have, like a Twitter or something like that where they can reach out to you, prospects can reach out to, or Instagram or something like that?
Coach Jim 76 at Twitter.
Okay.
Twitter.
Coach Jim 76 at Twitter. I'm writing it down myself.
Me too.
I might already follow you, but I don't know.
So I think I definitely already do. You know what I mean?
Hello?
Did we lose you, Coach? Okay.
Oh, there you are. Good.
We got to say our goodbyes.
Good. Yeah. So at Coach Jim 76, you can follow Coach, send them your film, introduce yourself, and if you're a defensive lineman or any position, he could probably refer you even from there.
Dudes, guys
that's it.
Ball and want to contribute and be a part of a great winning culture.
Absolutely.
One thing that we're really big on there, and I actually spoke with Coach Palotz on my interview for the job, was that I want to prioritize team success over individual success, and that's a part of why if I was a player, why I would choose Montclair, because it's a team driven culture. If you want to start right away, you could go elsewhere. And start right away on a bad team, but if we have a vision, and we're all in, and everyone's going to contribute. So individual accolades, statistics, they don't matter. We get several guys who get the ball. We get several guys who are on the field. Several guys who are getting targeted, and I would say this season alone we've probably had over 50 guys see the field. In one role or another, but that's the number, probably more.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
very cool. Well,
Coach, man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks,
Coach,
buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on, giving us your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll see you, Coach. Great seeing you again.
Great seeing you. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Take care, bud.
Absolutely. Bye. All right, that was great, man.
Can't believe you fit in the screen.
Yeah, he looks great. Actually, he looks great. It's been a long time. So,
all
right, it was real good. I'm gonna get running. Great podcast. We'll.
I'll talk to you later.
See you later.
All right, guys.